In 1975, Orson Welles put out the experimental documentary F a Fake,
Why not? I'm a charlatan.
which, unbeknownst to him, would be his final film before dying in 1985.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of introduction, this is a film about trickery and fraud, about lies.
This doc centers itself around the art forger Elmire de Hoy and the potentially fake biography that was written about him by Clifford Irving. Which is ironic since the doc was originally supposed to be in collaboration with Clifford, with only Orson Welles narrating it. But then there were suspicions that the biography was a pack of lies, and the doc's topic was changed and Welles took the director's place. New footage was shot and the narrative was shifted to follow the controversy behind the book. However, Welles shows that understanding art forgery isn't what he was trying to achieve with this film.
What was it that mystery package contained? A ham sandwich.
It's more like asking Orson Welles what he thinks about art, fakery and hoaxes, and he sits you down for 90 minutes and spills every thought he has to you.
Because the fakes are as good as the real ones, and there's a market and there's a demand.
If you didn't have an art market, then fakers could not exist.
Now take all that and give it a proper structure, and you have F a Fake. On the front of the Criterion booklet for F a Fake, there is a statement in bold letters reading, "Everything in this film is strictly based on the available facts."
During the next hour, everything you'll hear from us is really true and based on solid facts.
This leaves an impossible task in his hands. How do you present solid facts on a person with almost zero solid facts? Elmire's life is a great mystery, and even Welles acknowledges.
Not an actor, Elmire. He's a leading actor in this movie. His profession, it's true, is painting fakes.
So most of the information about him is delivered from people giving their impressions, or footage from when Orson met him himself. What facts we do get is mostly about the talent as a faker or artist, however you see it. The doc recounts a time when Elmire painted a Van Duncan fake.
Here, for instance, is a Van Duncan by Elmire. Van Duncan studied it carefully and then swore that he painted it himself.
However, Elmire's talents didn't leave him with much of a profit. To keep his fakery believable, he would sell the paintings through dealers who would take the majority of the profit, leaving Elmire with virtually nothing. Even his house wasn't his, it was rented to him by an art dealer he worked with. After the doc came out, Elmire's life didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Elmire was imprisoned by the Nazis for being gay, and 2 years after the film's release he committed suicide in front of his bodyguard. Reasons why are not entirely clear, but many people link it to how he was about to be handed over to the French authorities for fraud, which is where Clifford Irving enters the equation. Irving proposed the theory that the great faker of the 20th century had faked his death in an attempt to avoid being extradited. The theory was quickly dismissed to be just conspiracy. Unlike Elmire, there is much more information about Irving. Irving wrote a biography on Elmire de Hoy that was considered to be the closest we've ever come to understanding the private life of de Hoy. However, Irving followed this up with a biography on the aviator Howard Hughes, that Hughes sued Irving over as it was proven to be completely made up and fake.
If you can buy the notion that Cliff Irving turned to forgery before he turned to Elmire, then I guess you can keep right on through the looking glass and believe that his book about Elmire is a pack of lies. That fake is a fake, and Elmire himself is a faker.
So the question is, did he turn to fakery before or after he wrote the book about Elmire? The answer is, we will never really know. Both men are dead and there's no real source of information, so it's probably best to just move on. The point is that Welles only tells us the known truth, which isn't much to go off of, but leaves enough for us to understand the fraud and effect of these two fakers, both of which Orson seems to respect in his own way.
I must say I'm honored. My signature forged by Elmire on a real Elmire.
Elmire didn't copy paintings, he copied artist styles, and he was good at it, like I said. But if the paintings are original, does that make them no more or less impressive than the real artist's work? Wells likes to examine the truth of art and finds a personal connection to the fakery of Elmire. In 1938, Wells performed a live radio performance of War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, in which they would use fake news broadcasts to convince the listeners the aliens were actually invading Earth. Does the fact that aliens weren't really invading Earth diminish the talent on show in Wells' storytelling? In the film's cold open, Wells plays the part of a magician, someone whose act is built on lies. Does a magician lying to the spectator about the legitimacy of their trick diminish the skill that goes into convincing it's legitimate in the first place? Wells states that stories are a form of lie, and his portrayal of a film editor is a kind of meta-reference to Orson Welles, the actual film editor.
Tell it by the fireside or in a marketplace or in a movie. Almost any story is almost certainly some kind of lie. But not this time. No,
who promise to only tell solid facts to you, and the film editor is usually at the centre of creating that aforementioned lie, as movies deceive us for what reality really is with a fantastical portrayal of reality. Even movies that claim to be based on solid facts can lie to its audience with their full trust and confidence. But does it really matter? Does it matter if a piece of art is real as long as it's quality? Or as Irving puts it,
The important distinction to make when you're talking about the genuine quality of a painting is not so much whether it's a real painting or a fake. It's whether it's a good fake or a bad fake.
Orson playing a magician for a portion of this movie is a very allegorical for the structure of the film itself, especially when it comes to its conclusion. The performer builds the spectator's understanding of the situation and context, tell them exactly what to look out for and what to do, before pulling the rug out from under their feet and leaving them amazed. The finale of F for Fake features Oya Kodar and Orson Welles describing a situation between Oya, her grandfather, and Picasso, in which Picasso painted a series of pictures of Oya, and then her grandfather created forgeries of them that were sold for a pretty big profit. When the film ends, Wells reveals this story to be a complete lie.
For the past 17 minutes, I've been lying my head off.
The way this scene plays out is very theatrical, the dark background, the fog, it's almost like a play. Now remember that storytellers are fakers in themselves. The presentation of this scene is enough to tell you that Wells is breaking his own rules and telling you a type of lie. Wells is showing us an example of how easy it is to sneak a lie into a factual essay. After he promises that he would tell the truth, we immediately trust him, so the immediate betrayal hits that much harder as we realize that we have fallen for what we have been exposed for the past hour. Which leaves us wondering, was any of it real in the first place? Have we actually been watching a pack of lies for the past hour? Or is it all true and Wells has stuck to his promise? Or should we even care? Should we care if it's real, or should we just sit back and enjoy a piece of art that is F for fake? Does art need to be real, or can it just be impressive? Because I'll tell you, that is what F for fake is. And it is so damn entertaining to watch. I'd like to thank you all for listening to me talk about this movie. It's been a pretty fun time. Peace out. I don't really know how to end videos. I need a catchphrase or something. But that's just an idea. A film idea. No, that's taken. What about goodbye, sexy individuals. No, that doesn't really hit with the kids, does it? Hope you all have a if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. What about thank you. What other catchphrases can I say? Can you hear me, mother? Oh god. Yeah, none of the I think 90% of my audience is American, and none of them will understand any of these catchphrase references. Okay, I'm just gonna stop recording now.